Chapter 1. The Scandal. The Seoul skyline stretched before me, glittering like a living jewel under the night sky. The city's lights from the penthouse looked vast, infinite, a perfect reflection of my life, wide, dazzling, and untouchable. I adjusted my cufflinks, letting the cool metal dig into my wrists, grounding me. Everything about me was polished, curated, and flawless. The tailored suit hugged my frame just right, the shoes gleamed under the warm lights, and my expression was calm, confident, and commanding. This was Jaesun Lee, a K-pop superstar adored by millions. Men wanted to be me, and women wanted to be with me, but nobody knew me. Fame, fortune, and charm had come easy, maybe too easy. And yet, it all felt like smoke, intangible, fleeting. The world saw perfection, but I felt like a ghost beneath it. The gap between what they saw and who I was grew every year. The only person who truly saw me and knew the man behind the image was Jin. Jin wasn't just my manager or business partner. He was my brother, my anchor, and my best friend. We met as kids at an orphanage, two lost boys navigating a world that didn't care whether we survived or broke into a million pieces. Back then, we dreamed of K-pop fans screaming our names, though Jin, handsome in his own right, couldn't hold a note to save his life. Dancing, let's say anything beyond a two-step, wasn't for him. What Jin excelled at was martial arts and defense. After leaving for special ops training and a few years as a Secret Service agent, he returned sharper, stronger, and ready to become an integral partner of J&J Entertainment, a company we started to handle the business side of my career. He handled the chaos that came with being an international superstar. Even though he worked in the shadows, he was in many ways the only one besides my creator, the center of my human existence. So I could focus on the music, acting, and branding. If it wasn't for him, my weird extrovert-introvert self wouldn't make it, an extrovert on stage and a total introvert off. Without Jin, I wasn't sure where I'd be. A knock at the door pulled me from my reverie. "Come in," I called, not turning from the window. Jin stepped inside, balancing a box overflowing with fan letters. "Another delivery," Jin said, his voice laced with amusement as he set the overflowing box of letters on the table. "You could wallpaper this whole building with these." I smirked, finally turning to face him. "Why would they stop?" "I am their dream." Jin fished out a letter from the pile with a mischievous grin, holding it up like it was a golden ticket. "Hey, looky now," he said, eyes sparkling with mischief. "What do we have here? Is it a fan letter for moi?" He cleared his throat dramatically and began reading aloud. "Dear Jin, I see you around Jaesun all the time, but honestly, you're the one stealing the show. You're so cute. And that smile of yours? Total heart-stopper. I mean, who wouldn't fall for someone as handsome and protective as you? I know Jaesun gets all the spotlight, but I just wanted you to know. You've got a fan right here who thinks you're the real star. Keep being amazing, Jin. I'll be cheering for you from the sidelines. With love and lots of squeals, your #1 fan." I stared at him, dumbstruck for a second, and then we both burst out laughing. Jin had a way of always cracking me up, even when I least expected it. "Well," I said, shaking my head with a grin, "I guess I'm the brains and you're the brawn then, huh?" Jin shrugged, flashing me that signature grin. "Works for me. You can have the brains as long as I keep getting fan mail like this." "Well, I hate to say it, but tonight is another industry event. We need to go. It's non-negotiable," Jin said, briefing me with his usual no-nonsense tone. "Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go," I replied, trying to sound enthusiastic but failing miserably. I groaned internally. Industry parties were a necessary evil, a carousel of fake smiles, shallow conversations, and networking disguised as fun. But Jin wasn't giving me a choice. To stay relevant and land new endorsement deals, showing up to these events was important, or they saw it as an insult, and there goes your campaigns. Jin's voice softened, his eyes narrowing as if he could see through my polished exterior. Be careful tonight. You've been on edge. Don't do anything that could blow up in your face. I snorted, brushing off his concern with a practiced smirk. Relax. I've got this. But deep down, I knew Jin had a point. My life felt like a delicate house of cards, and one wrong move could send it all crashing down. And hours later, the screams began the moment we stepped out of the car. Jaesun, over here! Girls waved glittering signs, their faces flushed with excitement and tears as they reached out, desperate for a touch, a glance, a moment of connection. This was the part I truly loved, the part that made everything else worthwhile. Seeing their faces light up, feeling the energy of their adoration, and knowing that, even for a fleeting moment, I could bring them joy. This part was the only thing that brought me real happiness. That's why I took the time to read as many fan letters as possible. Sometimes I even wrote back, especially to the younger fans. I remembered what it felt like to be a lonely child, wishing for someone to notice me, to tell me I mattered. I knew how much a kind word or a simple gesture, like a pat on the head, could mean to someone who felt invisible. Giving back wasn't just an obligation. It was my anchor in the chaos. These moments of connection were the highlight of the carousel I was spinning on, the only thing that made it all feel real. Phones clicked in rapid bursts, capturing every second as I walked through the crowd. Jin stayed close, his steady presence shielding me from the chaos. Inside, the air buzzed with energy. Music thumped from massive speakers, and laughter and perfume swirled around the VIP section. I played my part, smiling, shaking hands, exchanging drinks and words with people I didn't care to know. Another drink slid across the bar toward me. I lost track of who handed it to me or how many I'd had, didn't want to offend the wrong CEO, so I chugged each shot down, becoming more and more unaware of what I was toasting to or with whom. The room buzzed with energy, but my focus blurred. Women leaned in, their laughter too loud, their eyes too hungry. The weight of their expectations pressed against me, suffocating. I caught a glimpse of someone at the edge of the crowd, a woman with two bright eyes and a smile that didn't reach. For a moment her gaze felt like a needle under my skin, sharp and invasive. Then she was gone, lost in the crush of people. I shook it off, blaming the alcohol. I felt Minho, a fellow K-pop star's hand, clap my back. "You good, man?" he asked, his grin too wide. "Always," I said, flashing a smile, but my chest tightened. This wasn't fun. This was survival, another performance for an audience that couldn't see past the facade. More drinks, more noise. I let the haze take over. Jin's voice cut through the fog. "Time to go." I tried to argue, but the words slurred. He didn't listen, with his grip firm as he guided me out into the cool night air. It hit like a slap, jolting me back to myself for just a moment. Jin helped me into the car, his voice steady as he directed the driver. As I leaned back, with my eyes heavy and my thoughts tangled, I felt a pang of gratitude. No matter how far I fell, Jin was always there to catch me. Then things went black. I woke to the buzz of my phone, my head pounding. "Jaesun, wake up!" My publicist's panicked voice screamed through the speaker. "Check the news, now!" Still groggy, I fumbled to open the browser. The headlines hit like a punch to the gut. K-pop superstar Jaesun Lee caught in pregnancy scandal. Is he the father?